Hey YouTube, Rando here. So we're going to do another top 10 list. This one's going to be why I carry a 22 in my bug out bag. I get that question quite a bit. So this is not top 10 reasons for you to carry one. You should carry what you feel comfortable with. This is my 10 reasons for carrying a 22 in my bug out bag. Now the first 5 are kind of in order. One may be interchangeable with another, like 8 maybe at number 6, 6 maybe 7, but they're all pretty close. And then the top 4 are completely interchangeable. It could be 1 is just as good a reason as number 4 as far as I'm concerned. So we'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. These are kind of in order, and then the top 4, they're just that would be my top 4 reasons. So here we go. Number 10, ease of maintenance. 1022 is really easy to tear down, really easy to field strip. It's easy gun to tend to. Not a lot goes wrong with them, and when it does, they're easily fixed. So that's my number 10 reason. Kind of stretched there a little bit. The AR-7 I haven't broke down yet, but supposedly it's really easy. I have plans on doing that this weekend. Maybe I'll do a video on it, and we'll learn together, right? Number 9, they're very reliable. A 1022, as far as I'm concerned, is the most reliable 22. But that being said, this AR-7's pretty reliable, and I have shot both of my GSGs, the PK and the SD, are pretty reliable. The Mossberg Plinkster, it's iffy on what ammo you shoot out of it, but it's reliable when you shoot good ammo out of it. So, 22's just, decent gun, reliable gun, so that was my number 9 reason. Number 8 are the multi-caliber 22s. I like 22s that shoot different calibers of bullets. This gun, the NAA revolver, and the Rough Rider there will both shoot 22 Magnum. They'll shoot 22 long rifle, 22 short, 22 CB. Oh hell, I done forgot what all they'll do, but they shoot a wide variety of 22 bullets, so I kind of like that. And that one's a little bitty, nice and light, which we'll get into in just a minute. Number 7, easy to shoot there. I don't want to say a kid-friendly gun, because no gun is kid-friendly. My kids do shoot, but when they shoot, I'm a safety Nazi, man. I will stand behind them. I'll make sure they're aiming upright, make sure the barrel's always downrange. They have eye protection, ear protection. So I don't want to tell anybody what to do, but my kids do shoot. So like I said, it's just a gun that they can shoot easily. My kids have been shooting 22 since they were 5 and 6, so they're really comfortable with a 22, and it's really easy to get somebody into shooting with a 22, like my wife. The first gun she ever shot was an SKS, and she did not enjoy it. She started shooting smaller guns and worked her way up, and now she would probably enjoy shooting an SKS. I don't know, I never put her on one again, but she don't mind the 22s. They're nice and easy to shoot for her. Number 6, let's see. It's not so much true as it was 4 years ago, but it's cheap to shoot, or cheaper to shoot than a lot of guns. That bulk ammunition right there, there are some guns that stuff right there the Plinkster don't like, but it'll run through most 22s no problem, and it's nice and cheap. I want to say somewhere in the range of 6 to 9 cents around, somewhere in there. So you can get cheap ammo for them to go plinking with, Number 5 is going to be they're quiet. Even a full-size 22 is fairly quiet. You put a can on the end of a 22, like that 1022 right there, and they're whisper quiet. But if you don't want to go do, get a stamp and all that, they sell these Calibri rounds. I'll go ahead and pull one just to show you the difference in these rounds. These things are powderless 22 rounds, 20 grain, really small. Put that right there. We'll just do some comparisons here. But they're ultra quiet. It essentially turns your 22 into a high-powered pellet gun. It doesn't cycle the rounds through a semi-automatic, but you could treat it like a bolt action, and it'll run through them all day. A lot easier than actually using a pellet gun that you have to pump up and reload every time. However, they're expensive. Those rounds are about 50 cents a piece. They're not very cheap. So let's throw a Magnum out there. And then I have a couple of other rounds I'll show you on my next point. Or not the next one, but another point. Number 4, and like I said, 1 through 4 completely interchangeable with one another. Number 4 is going to be, they're great to hunt with, hunt for small and medium-sized game. Nothing big. I wouldn't go after anything too big. Even with the 22 Magnum there, it's really not the best, large game hunting round. It's not something I would want to use. But as far as small and medium game, you can get these right here and get small game with them all day. This is Winchester Super X. Still pretty cheap. You get 100 rounds for about 12 bucks. So not expensive to shoot. You can use them for plinking rounds, or you can use them for hunting small game. If you're going something medium sized, I would either step up to a 22 mag, or those subsonic rounds right there. Those are match grade rounds. Those, competition grade rounds right there. They're good for hunting medium-sized game, and especially good for small game at longer distances. Those are a little bit more pricey. You're probably talking about 30 to 40 cents a round, somewhere in there. Not super cheap. And the 22 mag, you're going to pay anywhere from probably 75 cents up to $1 a shot on the 22 mag. They're not cheap at all. So that doesn't go with the cheap ammo that's coming up, but let's see, or the cheap ammo we already talked about. Number 3, they're fairly priced. You don't have to spend an arm and a leg to get a 22. This 22, it's either this one or this one's probably the most expensive one. You can get a regular 1022 for fairly cheap. The 1022 takedown's not super cheap, but it's still cheaper than buying, say, an AR-15. You know what I mean? It's a cheaper gun. They're lower priced even for the high-end ones. The AR-7 was a kind of expensive buy, and it was still, I don't want to quote it. I want to say $325, but I'm not sure exactly what I paid for it, so I don't want to quote it. But it was cheap enough for me to afford, and that means probably you can afford it as well. Let's see. Number 2, weight of ammo. You can carry these. You can carry a lot of rounds compared to, say, a 9mm. You can carry a hell of a lot of those compared to those, but you can probably carry 3 times these compared to the 9mm, and probably 2 of the 22 mag compared to the weight of the 9mm, maybe even 3, somewhere in there. And just further reference here. Damn, I didn't want to get into those, did I? There's a 45. So you can see you can carry a whole lot of these compared to these, or even these compared to these. So you can carry a lot more ammo with you. I would rather have, a couple of 100 rounds of 22 to hunt with than, 20 rounds of the 9mm. That's just me. And even like a 223, 5.56, those bullets get heavy. They're not light. I think I've got a bag with probably 100 rounds in it. Just a little pouch that hangs off my hunting kit, and it probably weighs more than my entire survival kit I made around the NAA revolver. It probably weighs twice as much, and I probably have, 50 rounds of 22 mag and a couple 100 rounds of 22 in that pouch. I've showed it on a different video, but so yeah, weight of ammo. And let's see, number 1, they're so compact and light, man. They're making these 22s smaller and smaller. They're making really cool variations on them where you can break them down. I don't have one. I plan on getting one, but the little Badger, it turns into a little V shape. They sell one that shoots 410 and 22 mag. I think it's 22 mag and gets an over and under. I know that. Then they sell the little Badger. They're not super expensive. They're pretty cheap. And I think it's a single shot. That's the downfall of it. But it breaks down really small. 1022 gets pretty small, and you can make it even smaller with a fold down stock. Just replacing that stock there, the biggest part becomes the barrel. You know, the barrel is a little bit shorter than what that is. But this U.S. survival rifle is small, very small. Just so you can see, you know, and everything's stored right here inside of it. There's the barrel. Everything you need to shoot the gun's inside here, including you can carry 20 rounds of ammo in there. So that's pretty much my bug out bag gun now. It used to be the 1022. First it was the sub 2000. I was carrying 9mm. Then I switched it to a 22. I wanted a 22, so we went with the takedown, and then I replaced it with the AR7. So that's my top 10 reasons. Like I said, this isn't for your bug out bag. This is just why I carry a 22 in my bug out bag. You may be in a different environment. You may want to carry a different setup, so this may not apply to you. But I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. That's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, YouTube.